Morning, all. All right, news of the day video for all you fine people on the internet for your Friday, March the 14th. Also, looking at tonight's action, we've got 6 games tonight in the National Hockey League. So, relatively busy for a Friday. Starting at the top of the board, we have a couple of signings to discuss, starting with the Vancouver Canucks have extended Linus Karlsson. It is a 1-year extension. It's a one-way contract as well, $775,000. Good for Karlsson, earning himself a one-way contract. He's been good in Abbotsford. He's been good in call-ups with the Vancouver Canucks as well. So he earns himself a one-way contract and will be staying in the organization for at least another season. Good on him. Adin Hill has signed a massive extension with the Vegas Golden Knights. 6 years, $6.25 million cap hit. So Adin Hill's well taken care of. And the goaltending position for the Vegas Golden Knights also well taken care of. Adin Hill has been very good for them this season. He doesn't play as many games as some other starters in the National Hockey League, but hey, $6.25 million. Not a lot of risk when you look at where the salary cap's headed, so good on Hill and the Vegas Golden Knights for getting this done. So the NHL website's been talking about various players and who they feel is the leader for each award. And I figured to put this on the board today that MacKinnon is the one that their staff, their writers and reporters feel is the leader for the Hart Trophy. And I will agree with that. They've got Draisaitl as number 2, if Oiler fans are wondering where he finished. But I agree with that. I think MacKinnon, I think you can also make the argument for Draisaitl, and you can make the argument for Hellebuyck. Before Jets fans jump in, yes, you can make the argument for Hellebuyck as well. It is very rare that a goaltender wins the Hart Trophy, though. So, yeah, MacKinnon very likely to win the Hart Trophy this year. He's had another ridiculously good season, and let me know your thoughts. And if he does win another Hart, and if he wins the Lindsay, I mean, it's more and more hardware to say, yeah, he's definitely first ballot Hall of Famer. And then to continue that conversation of, so is he the best player in the National Hockey League? My money has been on Connor McDavid for a long time, but is it now Nathan MacKinnon? Discuss. All right, moving on into tonight's preview. We have 6 games tonight in the National Hockey League, as I previously stated. 1 at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. 1 a half an hour later, 1 a half an hour later, and then we've got 3 later starts as well. So it's nicely spread out. You're going to try to follow all the action as I try to do. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, the Detroit Red Wings in Carolina against the Hurricanes. Detroit needs this. Detroit's 2 points back of a playoff spot. They're 31-28-6 on the season. They are 3-6-1 in their last 10. For Carolina, they're 39-22-4. They're 4 points clear of the New Jersey Devils in second place in the division, and they're 7-3 in their last 10. So Carolina will be looking to win this to get that 6-point cushion back against the New Jersey Devils, but Detroit needs this. Detroit desperately needs to go on a run, and if that win over Buffalo is going to mean anything, it has to continue with the win over Carolina tonight, or we're going to be talking about Detroit tomorrow night in the power rankings and how far they've dropped. They're going to drop. It's just a matter of how far. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific start between Edmonton and the New York Islanders, the Battle of the Orange and Blue. The Oilers, 37-24-4. They're now a point behind the Los Angeles Kings, and the Kings have a game in hand on the Oilers. The Oilers are 3-7 in their last 10, and all of a sudden, their playoffs look a little bit more cloudy. If they're starting on the road in LA, that's a little bit different. The Islanders, on the other hand, are 5 points out of a playoff spot. They're 29-28-7 overall. They're 4-6 in their last 10. So the New York Islanders need to get some wins together as well if they're going to make up that 5-point difference. And if you're an Islanders fan, you're probably going to be cheering for Carolina as well, just because that would hurt Detroit, and then you get that much closer to Detroit. Obviously, the Islanders 3 points behind the Wings in the standings as well. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. This is game of the night material. The Dallas Stars in Winnipeg against the Jets. Dallas, 42-20-2 overall. They are 5 points ahead of Colorado in second place. So they do need to make sure they keep pace, because Colorado's been playing pretty darn well lately. The Winnipeg Jets, and it was one of the top teams that started with a W. The Winnipeg Jets, 45-17-4 on the season, 6-3-1 in their last 10 games. They're 8 points ahead of Dallas. So, if Dallas wins this one in regulation tonight, they could potentially pull themselves further ahead of Colorado and would pull themselves within 6 points of the division lead held by the Winnipeg Jets. Dallas has played really well lately. Winnipeg's been pretty good lately, too. Should be an amazingly good game. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, the Colorado Avalanche in Calgary against the Flames. Flames will be without Connor Zary, who got 2 games for the elbow on Elias Pettersson. Colorado, 39-24-3 overall. They are 2 points ahead of Minnesota for third place in the division, and they're 7-2-1 in their last 10. Calgary, 30-23-11 overall. They are tied with Vancouver for that last playoff spot. This is the game they have in hand on Vancouver as well, and they're 4-2-4 in their last 10 games. So Calgary's been collecting points in extra time. They've only lost 2 in regulation over these last 10 games, but they need to watch out because there are a couple of teams trying to chase them down, and they're not too far back at this point in time of a playoff spot. So there's potential for the Flames Avalanche game to be quite the game too. We'll see what happens there. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific start between Nashville and Anaheim. So battle of 2 teams that are very highly unlikely to make the playoffs, although not mathematically eliminated yet. Nashville, 25-32-7. They're 14 points back of a playoff spot. They're 6-4 in their last 10. Anaheim, 28-30-7 on the season. They're 8 points back of a playoff spot. They're 3-6-1 in their last 10. So Anaheim having some struggles. Nashville's been playing better lately. We'll see how things work out in this one tonight. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific start as well. Utah in Seattle against the Kraken. Utah 29-25-11 on the season. They're 6-2-2 in their last 10. They are 2 points back of a playoff spot. They are close. And so for Utah, if you're a Utah fan, you're also cheering for the Abs tonight because then you can pull yourself up into a 3-way tie then between Calgary, Vancouver, and it would be Utah if Calgary loses in regulation and Utah wins. There you go. Seattle, on the other hand, 28-34-4 on the season. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They're 11 points out of the playoffs. So Seattle's not going to make it, but they're trying to play spoiler. It worked against Montreal. We'll see if it works against Utah tonight. So let me know your picks for tonight's games in the comment section below, as always. You can also let me know your thoughts on the extension signed today or who you think should win the Hart Trophy. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.